Thank you, Heather. I appreciate the opportunity to talk about what SSA has been doing related to the Legacy campaign, but also the work that we've done with ACT in particular over the past couple of years. For those of you who are not familiar with Senior Services of Alexandria, we're a local nonprofit. We've been around for 54 years, and we serve older adults, anyone 60 and above, who live in the city of Alexandria, who need a little bit of help in order to age gracefully and in a healthy way with the support services that they need to stay in their homes. We operate the Meals on Wheels program for the city, handle paratransit reservations for disabled individuals, deliver groceries, free pet food, and try to get information out to the community through our Senior Ambassador program so people are aware of all that Alexandria does do for our older adults. As you can imagine, during the pandemic, the population that we serve were those that were most severely impacted. So our volunteer base shrank astronomically overnight in March of 2020. And our clients expanded exponentially. So we found ourselves working very closely with the city to make sure that we could continue to deliver meals every day. Expanded the program from delivering about 900 meals a week to over 2,500 meals a week in a blink of an eye. And so the support that we received from the community was really critical in order for us to be able to do all of that. SSA also was in the forefront of helping our client base, and not just our clients, but any older adults in the city who were needing help in getting vaccine appointments. If you think way back in January of 2021, how difficult it was to get an appointment, we work closely with the health department in order to make that possible, setting up appointments directly for our clients and helping them get transportation. So it's been a crazy couple of years, and we could really not have done it without the support of the community, and ACT in particular has been terrific. We're very grateful for the support that we received from ACT, not only through Spring to Action, which we've participated in since it began, but also through the Resilience Fund, the ARPA funding, every grant that we could possibly apply for, we have applied for. We just wrapped up with the Sleeves Up campaign, working to make sure that those older adults who perhaps were still a little reluctant to get their initial vaccinations, but also the boosters, were able to do that, and the funding that we received from ACT made that possible. In terms of the Legacy campaign, we came into that a little bit unexpectedly. Heather mentioned Gene Sturley, one of the founders of ACT. We honored him at our gala, or had hoped to, in 2020. Of course, it had to be canceled, but we had been talking with Gene early days about with the work that SSA did in the community. And he was very interested in talking to us about a legacy campaign, the idea that he had to create a Spring to Action version focused on bequests and other types of legacy giving. And so we had planned to highlight that at our gala that year. And we did highlight it in the program that we distributed to all of our supporters and at that time, but it really got us thinking that this was something that we needed to build on and to really get behind. We were fortunate enough about 8 years ago to receive a significant bequest from a local resident who wanted to support older adults in the community on a long-term basis, and it allowed us to set up an endowment fund and create the basic framework for how to accept legacy giving on an ongoing basis. But like many nonprofits, we're more focused on what we need to do today and how important it is to serve the clients. And so it's always been on the back burner of how could we build on that and encourage other supporters in the community to contribute in this way to our organization. So we have some long-term support that we can count on and fold into our ongoing operating budget. So when the pandemic eased up a little bit, we said, okay, we're going to turn back to this concept and see how we can make it a reality. And I reached out to ACT and let Heather know that we were going to be having a board retreat back in November of 2021. And the goal was to look at our aspirations for the next just 2 to 3 years. So, what are the major things that we want to accomplish? And one of them was let's set up a formal legacy campaign. Heather and Tricia were kind enough to come to that retreat and give board members a really great overview of national statistics related to legacy giving, but also confirmation of what you need to have in place as an organization to make that a reality, and then some ideas about how to roll it out to the community. And my board is very enthusiastic about it. We have since set up a meeting with members of our advisory council, which is made up of our former board presidents. I get a different board president every year, so it's a larger council than you might expect. And we invited all of them to meet with us in April just to talk about the information ACT had presented and get their support for how we could roll out this type of campaign to our community. And so the first meeting was very enthusiastic. We're now in the process of setting up a follow-up to let them know what the plans are, and really looking forward to working with ACT and appreciate your continued support to make this a reality. So our plan is to have an event in September where we invite our supporters and major donors to come, really to thank them for all that they've done for us over the past couple of years, but also to get them thinking about SSA in a long-term way, hopefully, and build on all of this. So I think that's all I had to contribute. We do appreciate everything that ACT does in the community, and you in particular, Heather, have just been terrific for the past 2 years, always, but past 2 years, we are very, very grateful.